Hello everybody, I'm Gwendolyn Boyd-McGhee and I am submitting this video for the week 1 discussion. After reviewing the Code of Ethics for ACA, the National Board of Certified Counselors, and the Texas Rules and Regulations for Professional Counselors, the one issue that stood out to me is the one concerning bartering. It's not something that is discussed very frequently, but I recently took a multicultural counseling class, and there was a case study that stood out to me about a counselor who moved to service the Appalachian community, and the client explained to the counselor that they recently closed a family-run mine, and she had lost her mental health insurance, and that money was really tight, but she really wanted the services, and she suggested that in order to decrease the cost of the counseling services, that she would bring baked goods. And so anyway, I reviewed the Code of Ethics concerning bartering for each one of those entities. For ACA, it specifies under A10E, bartering counselors may barter only, counselors may barter only if the bartering does not result in exploitation or harm, if the client requests it, and if such arrangements are an accepted practice among professionals in the community. Counselors consider the cultural implications of bartering and discuss relevant concerns with clients and document such agreements in a clear written contract. Okay, the National Board of Certified Counselors specify that NCCs generally do not accept goods or services from clients in return for counseling services in recognition of the possible negative effects, including perceived exploitation. NCCs may accept goods, services, or other monetary compensation from clients only in cases where no referrals are possible or appropriate, and if the arrangement is discussed with the client in advance. Also, if it's an exchange of a reasonable equivalent value, does not place the counselor in an unfair advantage, and is not harmful to the client or to their treatment, and is documented in a counseling service agreement. Now, the Texas Rules and Regulations for Professional Counselors specify that the licensee shall not accept payment in the form of goods or services rendered by a client or relative of a client, which means that in Texas, if you're a counselor practicing in Texas, regardless of what ACA says, and whatever the National Board for Certified Counselors dictate, you cannot barter for services. And so I started to kind of ponder and kind of wonder why it is that way. And in Texas, we don't have a large population of like Native Americans where this may be a custom that they're used to, bartering and trading for services, like Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona. Also, we don't have the Appalachian community here. So in places like that, where the Appalachian communities are, if it's Tennessee, Virginia, or wherever, and then in other places like Oklahoma, Arizona, New Mexico, their states' rules and regulations for professional counselors may vary, because this may be a custom and may be common in those areas. So if you were to have a client who moved from one of those areas into Texas, and they were used to doing the bartering and trading, exchanging services or goods for counseling, you would have to explain to them that the Texas rules and regulations would prevent you from being able to barter with them. So anyway, that's something to think about. Thank you.